Mr. Bird.
Did you hear that, Kathleen? Man, Kathleen, I banged the gavel.
I'm good.
Okay, good. Good evening and welcome to the January 8th, 2019 regular meeting of the Roswell Independent School District. We will now have opening exercises. So, I get a roll call.
Alan Getty,
Here.
Ruben Sanchez,
Excused late.
Kathleen Pittman,
There he is.
not real late,
Not real late.
Mona Kirk,
Yes.
James Edwards.
Yes.
Okay. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
I can't. I'm lyrically challenged. Oh yeah, go ahead and sit down. Do we have a moment of appreciation? Oh, I'm sorry, moment of appreciation. Sorry guys, stand back up like you're in church.
Okay, this is the first time I've had the pleasure of doing this, so what I want to do, being athletic director, I want to recognize what's happened in their fall semester with our athletic teams. I want to start out with the middle schools. The football champions for the city was Berendo. They also were the border conference champions, which was excellent in the first year that they participated in the border conference. Volleyball, the 7th grade city champions was Mountain View. The 8th grade city champions was Sierra. They were also the runner-up in the border conference tournament. So that was a great accomplishment as well for them. For basketball, I know it's not a fall sport, but we did play the 7th grade in the fall. We finished up in December. 7th grade girls champions was Mountain View. 7th grade boys champions was Sierra. Then for the high schools, for Goddard High School, the girls soccer team were the 4A district champions. They made it to the state quarterfinals. The boys soccer was a district runner-up and made it to the first round of state. Cross country had a good season but had no postseason after district. Volleyball, the girls were District 4A runner-ups, so regular season district champions, and they were the state champion runner-up. We're going to recognize them tonight, but they've got their banquet, so we're going to get them hopefully next month. But they have their banquet tonight. Football, they were the District 4 5A runner-up and made the state semifinals. For Roswell High School, the girls and boys soccer had, learning years, but did not make the postseason cross country. They had a district champion in Maritza Alvarez, and they qualified 6 kids for state, 3 girls and 3 boys, so that was a good accomplishment. Volleyball was a District 4 5A champions regular season and district tournament, and they made the first round of the state tournament. And of course, our football team won the district championship and the 5A state football championship as well. So let's take a moment of silence and appreciate all the coaches and the hard work that went in for our kids, the student athletes, and the parents and everyone that support them. Thank you.
You may be seated. Are there any modifications to the agenda?
There are no modifications.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion made by Ms. Kirk. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second made by Ms. Pittman. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. We will now have recognitions.
Well, thank you. We have several that we want to recognize tonight. First and foremost, we want to recognize the Roswell High School percussion section. And Mr. Odom and Dr. Gomez, they competed in the 39th New Mexico Pageant of Bands Marching Competition in October and won the award for Best Percussion Section. And so we wanted to recognize them tonight. So if you all would stand and let us congratulate you on this.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Awesome.
great. Thank you. Thank you for working so hard and being so good and doing it. Thank you. I didn't know you had this. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Greg.
I guess I should have had you guys do a drum line for us like we did at our opening ceremonies this year for the school year, so, you know, maybe.
Absolutely.
Mr. Odom, do you want to say anything?
You really want the band director to talk? They're used. This all started at 7 a.m. on July 16th. You know, we've had, what was it, four months of just hard work and just, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, working hard. One thing, when we found out that we were moving up a division in classification, we realized that we were kind of in trouble because we were going against Hobbs High School, which has 400 people in their band, Clovis High School, which is the top band in New Mexico, Carlsbad High School, which has 150, Centennial, which, again, top band, and then we have 52. So I challenged the kids, you know, with Dr. Yep, there he is, with Dr. Gomez over there. We challenged the kids saying that, you know, increase in expectations and, you know, harder work, and the kids came through, you know, above and beyond what we expected. So, you know, we, you know, went to Pageant of Bands in October, and again, 52-piece band got the, you know, best, you know, percussion section. So, you know,
awesome.
They worked really, really hard. So,
Congratulations. I appreciate you guys coming tonight and sharing this honor with us so that we could recognize you and just be proud of your accomplishments for you and with you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, and I don't see her here, I was going to introduce to you Dana Russ, who has been named the new principal at Sunset Elementary School. And I don't know, Dana's not here. But I also would like to introduce Kathy Adams. Kathy is a longtime educator. I think she said she's finishing up her 42nd year this year. She will be the new principal at Valley View Elementary. She's been a principal for the last 5.5 years. And so just brings a wealth of experience to us. And just want to welcome you to the district, and we look forward to working with you and know that you guys are going to do amazing things at Valley View and just continue that path that's been set. So thank you.
Thank you.
And I thought God's will would be here tonight. He actually is traveling back to us tonight from Fort Worth. He was here yesterday. He'll be here tomorrow, but we missed him today. Also want to have some really great recognition of 2 schools in our district that were named to the first ever Secretary's Honor Roll, the top 10 honor roll in the state. And the criteria for that was that they serve a population that is predominantly free and reduced lunch, so they're you know, high needs population, that they've shown remarkable improvement year in and year out for their students. And so we actually had 2 schools in our district to be on that top 10 honor roll. And so at this time, I'd like to recognize the principal and the director of those schools. First is Stacy Damon from El Capitan. I'm just very proud of the great leadership that occurs at El Capitan, and she's able to work with an exceptional core of teachers to do amazing things for kids and forever change the trajectory of the course of their life. And so just want to thank you for the impact that you are having for a lifetime and for generations to come in the work that you do at El Capitan. And then I also want, Joe Andrus is here with Sidney Gutierrez Middle School. And quite frankly, we are very fortunate in Roswell to have one of, if not the one of the highest performing charter schools in the state of New Mexico. And they are the only charter school south of I-40 to accomplish what they do. And they've had 7 or 8 consecutive years, seven consecutive years of a school grade of an A. And that is no small feat, as we know. And so we are so fortunate to have this as a district sanctioned charter, and have a great working relationship with them, and they're great partners, and they are great for the kids of Roswell. And so we're very proud to partner with you and the work that you do. And so, Joe, thank you for your leadership, and thank you to your teachers for kind of trailblazing for so many of us to learn from, and just making great things happen for the kids of Roswell. So thank you. And that is all on the recognition.
Okay. We will now have inquiries and general comments. Ms. Whitcamp, has anyone requested to speak?
No, sir, they have not.
Well, darn it. You didn't get to read that whole thing? I was excited to read this. Really bothered. We will now have approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting of December 11th, 2018.
And I recommend approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting of December 11th, 2018.
Are there any corrections, deletions to the minutes? If not, may I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Mr. Sanchez approved. May I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Kirk with a second. We have a motion by, we have a motion by Mr. Sanchez and a second by Ms. Kirk. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it, and the motion carried. We will now have the consent agenda.
And I recommend approval of the consent agenda.
Is there any discussion?
Negative, sir.
No.
If not, may I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion made by Mr. Sanchez and a second made by Ms. Kirk. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it, and the motion carried. We will now have action items.
So I have
Oh.
a question. Mr. President, high school, middle school redesign, short and simple, are we going to miss that? Are we going to go back and pick that up? That was.
That's last, are you on last month's?
That's
That's from the high school.
Oh, it's 18.
That's 2018. December 11th, you're right. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm like,
I'm going, what?
what did I miss?
I was totally out of order.
She's like, what am I looking at here? Well, that's good.
Oh, I see, because it clicked on, it's the user. Voice, it's the user.
All right.
It's okay.
So we can go to action items then?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Forget I said it.
Approval of RFP 1904 for Del Norte Elementary School General Contractor.
And I do recommend approval of the RFP for the Del Norte Elementary School General Contractor. Mr. Tweet is here to answer any questions you may have regarding this procurement.
Cool. Does anybody else have questions?
Can you maybe just give us the high
Yeah.
spots or meat
Yeah.
and potatoes of?
That's what I was, yeah.
And how long, and all that stuff.
That's
that
what
you
I was
told me
waiting for.
20
Yeah.
times, but we want to know again.
Yeah, hopefully this isn't too duplicative of what you have in front of you. So we did have two offers submit proposals. Two quality contractors that submitted. We called both of them in for interviews, and it was really close between the two, but we feel comfortable with the recommendation that we have in front of you, and we hope that the general contractor can start working on January 25th.
I don't have the recommendation.
So can I chime in for just a second?
Thank you.
Absolutely. So you have before you tonight two bidders in this process. Of course, we like to see more, but the good news in that is both bidders are very, very strong professional organizations that have actually built schools for us here in Roswell before successfully, very successfully, I should say. So of the two bidders, the recommendation by the committee, and I won't divulge the committee members, any of you that might have read the paper, Sunday's paper, know that procurement can be a very tricky situation and, of course, is open to various forms of protest and all those things, which is why we are somewhat limited in that information. What I will tell you is that everyone on that committee is highly qualified in what they do and in reviewing all aspects of these contracts. So with that, the recommendation is Wade Construction. They are a corporation here in Roswell, New Mexico, and again, have built several schools for us very successfully, I might add. They're from this community, so their families work for us, and our families work for them, and that makes all the difference in the world when you're doing phase construction.
Cool.
Thank
So
you.
Wade was awarded the.
Wade.
And that's page 165 and 66 in your board book, if you want to, if you're looking at that.
Well, where? Can you find it? I don't find it.
And I'll just throw one other thing in there. Pending authorization of this as our general contractor, the recommendation tonight, they would be able to start construction on Monday, January 28th,
Wow.
Are we having,
right around the corner.
are we gonna have a
Groundbreaking.
groundbreaking?
We can, absolutely.
I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
I second that.
Did you get that time?
5:30 in the morning.
No. That's my 35th wedding anniversary.
Well, good. We'll celebrate that too.
We'll break ground and celebrate.
Yeah, with cake.
So I didn't find that, Dr. McElroy. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Okay,
doing
it's in
something wrong,
the full
so-
board book on, yeah, 165 and 6.
Okay.
I only got, I didn't.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
not
we'll fix how we can do that better next time.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we,
Okay.
It's not here.
so, all right. So that's some discussion. Do we have a motion
So
to,
moved.
okay. So, motion made by Ms. Kirk. Do I have a second? Second made by Mr. Edwards. We have a motion by Ms. Kirk, second by Mr. Edwards. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. We now have reports.
The only thing I wanted to report to you was, and I had talked about this somewhat, I did send our attendance information. I was requested to send that to the Special Agent De Los Santos with the FBI regarding our December 3rd delay of school as a result of the threats made against our schools. We had, at that time, we had 10,236 kids enrolled in our school, and 46% of them were absent on that day. And so we sent that information because they will use that in the sentencing portion if they're able to prosecute the individual known to have made that threat. So that is still pending because she's on a 90-day hold for psychiatric eval. If she's found competent to stand trial, then they will pursue it with their full diligence. And so he's preparing his case in that event. And so he requested that information. We also know that that particular day was one of the 2 days used because it was our 80-day count. We used the 80-day and the 120th day average to do our ridership, our bus ridership, for our transportation allocation and for the next school year. And we do know that, well, originally I was told it was 316 students, but Mr. Tweet sent me today, it was 100 and...
Yeah, so it was 316 less than they did last year. It shows 171 absences for this year.
Yeah, so 171 kids fewer rode the bus as a result of this, so there's a financial impact. When I inquired and requested a variance to the 80-day count being used for extenuating circumstances as directed by the then Secretary of Education, it was denied. And I was told that it did make a significant impact and that we should have just canceled school. And I said, well, in the 5 seconds I had to make that decision, that was not the first thing on my mind. You know, safety of our kids was the most important thing. I'm gonna follow up with the new administration and see if we cannot, and I've asked for the ridership numbers like on the 82nd and 83rd day. It's not that we're trying to get out of it, but we had an extreme situation. And so I will ask the interim Secretary of Education, Lieutenant Governor Howie Morales, I will be asking him to reconsider that decision, and did talk to a couple of our legislators today, Representative Nybert and Anderson, and they are actually even considering doing a memorial regarding that, because it is going to impact us financially next year, because our transportation allocation will be reduced and should not be, and for things completely beyond our control. And so working on those fronts to try to find another way to get a more accurate count and get a better estimate of what our allocation should be. I've also supplied that information to the FBI because it was a financial impact to this district, and have told them that, you know, I don't have the final result of what that financial impact will be until after the 120th day when we get the average, and then after the legislative session when we see what the allocation will be actually for transportation. We will know more after that legislative session, but we'll be able to provide that information to the FBI as well.
So Dr. McElroy, aren't those also reporting days to the PED for our SEG? So won't that impact our dollar amount?
Attendance is not one of the things that impacts our SEG. It's our enrollment. So, and our enrollment stayed. It was just we had 46% of the kids out.
But those were reporting days.
Yes, yes.
Transportation wasn't.
Yeah, transportation is specifically about ridership on those two particular days.
But that they're all averaged in, all of those days are averaged.
Just the 80 and 120th day on ridership, and then for SEG, it's our average enrollment for multiple days. It's 40, 80, 120th, isn't it?
Depending on which, there's a final initial budget, so initial budget is the 80th, the average of the 80th and 120th day from prior year.
There again, it could impact our bottom dollar if it's significant enough that.
But it's our enrollment, not our attendance.
Okay.
Yeah, so, anyway.
All right, thanks for doing all that work.
Yeah.
Well,
Hopefully
I mean,
it'll get resolved right.
the thing of it is, well, exactly, but the thing of it is, they need to account for this. You know, we're not gonna be the only ones that have an exceptional circumstance. It's gonna happen, and it needs to be addressed, and So if we're the poster children for that, then so be it. We'll be that, and it'll be better for everybody. So anyway, but we have great legislators that are willing to go to bat for us on that. So I appreciate that.
Thank you for following up on that
Yeah.
with the powers that be.
Well, we're gonna keep working it. We'll keep trying. So, and that's all I had for tonight.
Okay, Mr. Byrd.
Did we jump Bird or Cole?
Did I skip Chad Cole?
No,
Sorry.
no, talent management's next.
I have you next.
All right.
Finance and operation.
You're so talented. We put you right up on.
You have a different one than I do?
Mine says Chad Cole.
Oh,
No,
well,
you know
it's
what?
different
The
on our-
agenda says Chad Cole.
Yes, it does.
Mine does not.
Oh,
So,
board members, I'm very flexible.
How about we have your arm
Or just
wrestle?
get me all together, whatever.
we'll let Chad go.
I'll be brief. Thank you. Board President Getty, members of the board. The only thing I really have to report to you tonight is that the county clerk has mailed out the special election mail-in ballot only ballots to the community tonight. As we reported last time, there's approximately 30,000 registered voters here in Chaves County, so there'll be approximately 30,000 ballots going out today in today's mail. In relation to that, not directly but indirectly, our bond campaign committee is going to be sending out 10,000 different mailers tomorrow to various registered voters in the community. And I should report to you, as they've reported to us, that their Facebook website or web page, Facebook page, you could tell them up on Facebook, has received 200 likes. And so the thing to do, apologies, I don't do Facebook myself, but I think it's a great thing.
So
for,
you don't know
for
the
this.
total engagement of those likes?
I do not. I do not.
And have the
But
analytics.
it is my understanding that the thing to do, if you're interested in that, is to go to the Friends of Roswell Facebook page and like and share that page.
Very good. That was a good report. It's true.
And on that note, I'm starting the speaking tour this week with the bond stuff. So I'll be at Rotary on Thursday and Sertoma on Friday, and then Kiwanis, Optimist, and the Republican Women sometime later this month. So anyway.
And the only other thing that I should add, or would like to add, is that we have enjoyed thorough support from our community on this. This has been a long-term proposition. It hasn't been a short-term thing, and we've been very successful with it as a community, and that speaks to our school board, present and past. In getting us to where we are with it, and we just have to thank the community for their support of what we're trying to do, and we've been tried to be extremely transparent about what it is we're trying to do and why it is we're trying to do it.
We are liked, Chad.
Oh, good.
We liked it.
The EDC
Thank you for the
also
instructions.
shared
I
our
appreciate
bond
that,
video.
sir.
The Economic Development Corporation of Chaves County also shared our bond
It's a
video
great
in support,
video.
in
Many of
support
you-
of us.
The one we showed at the, okay, yeah, that was a good one.
If any of you have not watched it, please do. Go to that website and like it, share it. Invite people to like the website.
And keep sharing.
It's a lot of Facebook talk.
I
I
know.
know.
Okay, now, Mr. Byrd.
Okay. Dr. McElroy, President Getty, members of the board, you have in your packet the personnel report for the month of January, and then the openings report. You'll notice we've kind of leveled off with openings right now. I mean, we're just kind of fluctuating. You know, we're pretty excited coming into the spring semester because hopefully now we can get back out on the recruiting trail, because that's when a lot of the major fairs happen here March, April, May. So we're kind of looking forward to getting back out there and try to get these filled.
Who comprises your recruiting team?
So we try to utilize all of the talent that we have in the district, be it, we've taken teachers, we've taken principals, our directors. I mean, and a lot of it just depends on, what day of the fair it is and, who's got what going on. I mean, I'm open to taking anybody and everybody that can come and help us sell Roswell. So, Mr. Edwards, if that's your way of wanting to go, I'll sign you up for one.
Are you going to give me a bonus?
We'll double your board
Double
salary.
your current salary on the board.
There you go.
I'd fill it all up. Okay, I'm just asking.
Yes.
Because normally there's a face to whoever is doing your recruiting. Normally there's a team. I'm just used to seeing a face. So
Right.
If we have somebody to send or refer, who is the contact person, the main contact person? I guess.
That would be me.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Now, I have a face for radio, but not television.
Yeah.
We shouldn't all agree to that.
But he was good. He was good.
No, Mr. Bird. All right, and that's anything else? It's okay.
Just one thing that came up, but I think we talked about this last time too, when we're, like James was talking about, the individuals that you have going to these recruitments. Do we have a diversity of individuals? Do we have, the young up and coming teacher that can kind of reach out to those people? Do we have the administrator? Just making sure we've got a realm so when people have questions.
Yes, that's the biggest key is taking a diverse group, especially some of the younger folks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still look in the mirror and think I'm young, but maybe not so much anymore.
We think you are.
But no, that's important that we take, and energetic people. I mean, I can just think about Dolores Ingram out. I mean, she's ready to go right now. I mean, she keeps kind of hounding me, but we need those kind of people that are going to go out and sell and really just be energetic at those tables.
Good. All right, this is gonna be an interesting question. Do we have any unique ways of, I know that you have a plan for this in our media plan and our social media plan that we can sort of carry it around. So in other words, Chad can't go on these.
Right?
Because Chad will be like, I think Facebook is the Facebook. No, I'm just sorry, Chad.
It's true. It's true.
So do we have, that would be a big question for me is if we're looking for younger people, we're going to have younger, not necessarily people, but just a way of reaching them, their communication strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Are we preparing that, getting that ready so that when that happens,
We are. So right now, we actually are in the process of finding out who is managing the Roswell Independent School District Facebook page, because there is one created. We didn't create it. And so we don't have the managerial rights, the administrative rights to it. And so we don't know how that came about. And so that's another thing. Mark Zuckerberg and I are gonna be like this. And maybe I can get a donation out of him. But just trying to find out who created this and who has the rights to it, because they should not be able to do that. So that's one of the things we're having to clear up before we're able to really launch full steam ahead. But we are working on, and we'll be able to do that more in full force if we bring the full-time media person or the public relations person on board in the summer to really get a very organized and strategic plan. We want to be very intentional about what we do and not, we don't want to be sloppy with it.
Right.
And so, but there are lots of different media outlets that we can utilize.
All right.
Thank
Anything
you, guys.
else? Thanks. All right. Well, Ms. Lawson, looks like you're next.
Students came back today, so I don't have a whole lot to report just yet.
Okay.
But I look forward to providing you much more information in the meetings to come.
All right. Cool. Okay, well, board communication. Let's see, where did I start last time? I started with James, so I'll start with Ms. Pitt.
I hope everyone had a fabulous holiday. Because of Facebook, Chad Cole, I am aware that a lot of our faculty, staff, and our superintendent and others took wonderful vacations. And they're happy, they saw their family, they played with the children and the grandchildren, and they had their kids clean house. And, it's wonderful to see all that on Facebook. And I welcome you back. My husband was excited. Their schools are in. He rides his bike, so he always knows these things. And I'm excited because now we're back to routine, and it's good to vacation, and we're so glad you're back. I don't have anything else, sir.
All right, Ruben, I'll let you go next.
I'm just gonna piggyback on what Kathleen said. I really hope everybody actually got a chance to recharge the batteries just a little bit. Just like we said last go around, it's nice every once in a while to turn off that light switch, maybe a day or two, but I know you guys are teachers, administrators, janitors, I mean, everybody within the district, the light kicks back on way before you're supposed to be back into school. So my wife was there too. She's been on the computer way before getting stuff ready. So I really do hope that you guys actually had some downtime and enjoyed your families. And other than that, ready or not, they're back again. So here we go. But we're looking forward to it. And I think it's going to be a great start to the remainder of the year.
There you go.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Oh, thanks. Oh, glad you had a good vacation. A longer one than you expected.
Well. Okay, so since we're gonna go there, so yes, I do work for the feds, and yes, I am furloughed. So yeah, I'm still kind of watching the news and kind of telling my staff what's happening, and
Is a board member entitled to free lunch?
Yeah. So
Change of significant
yeah, so technically,
income.
since we're shut down, technically I'm unemployed. So I was like, well, hey, I guess I could maybe work for the district, but that's a conflict. So no, I can't even do that. Can't even volunteer.
They need Walmart greeters.
Yeah, they need Walmart greeters, so I might do that until we'll
Gotta
see.
do something.
Yeah, I got yeah. So anywho.
Wow. Ms. Kirk?
Okay, well, same thing. Welcome back, everyone. We hit the ground running. I can't believe it's already 2019. And thank you all those out there in viewing land. I want to welcome y'all. It just seems like yesterday we were starting the school year, and we're already halfway through. And this next half goes so quickly. Well, it'll be May when we blink. I have already heard there's a lot of tension out there, uneasiness about, okay, are we doing away with the park? What's going to replace it? And as educators, we already, we have this saying that if you don't like what's happening in education, wait a year, it's going to change. And this too, like everything else, yes, there is change. Educators are the most flexible people I know. We can bend and not break. So it's amazing, and all I say is hang on. It's, yeah, there's change among us. There's going to be change, but, you know, let's stay positive and hope it's for the best, or for the better of our kids, the betterment of our kids, because that's what it's all about. So keep bending and hang in there, and have a great rest of the school year. And I'm done.
Anything, Mr. Edwards?
Yeah, I'm gonna say a few words. You know, we've moved on from 2018 to 2019. And, you know, I've always put it out there, I'm an open book. My phone number is out there. you know, if we don't know about issues, we can't deal with the issues. And we can't, I learned a lot about conflict and compromise. If you don't say anything, we can't fix it. And my number's out there, and I was elected to serve the Roswell Independent School District, not just the district that I live in, but the whole district as a whole. And I've, you know, I'm one of these people that believes in, sometimes you're not gonna hear what you wanna hear, and you're not always gonna get your way. And we teach that to our kids. Now, when we teach that to our kids as adults, and supposedly mature human beings and adults, we need to practice what we preach. And, you know, I think we're on the right track. There's gonna be some bumps in the roads. But if you don't communicate, we can't fix it. If we don't know what's going on and what's going on or what is not going on, we can't fix it, we can't address it. And I will always be the voice for the people out there. Sometimes I might tell you, hey, suck it up. Because that's how it is. That's just real life, you know. But I hope everybody had a good New Year. I hope this is a great year. I hope we don't lose any staff. I hope we don't have any sudden deaths or people, you know, you see them one day and they're not here the next day. And the other thing is, I'll tell you right now, I know he left a few minutes ago, but Mr. Tackett put on probably one of the best memorials I've ever seen when he did that deal for Dr. Waltrip. And if you weren't there, you missed a real nice going away deal. And, you know, I was talking to Mr. Tackett about it, and I mean, it touched me. Because that was Mr. Waltrip, you know, we used to have our conversations. And I learned one thing with him. He had a lot of integrity. He was honest, and sometimes he said things that you didn't want to hear, but you needed to hear them. And I hope I have that same kind of voice out there. But I'll tell you right now, Mr. Tackett put on probably one of the best services I've ever seen for one of our former school board members. I wish there would have been a few more people there, but it was a good presentation. Teachers, staff, administrators, let's make this the best year. Trials and tribulations, hey, we got to take the good with the bad. But let's make this a successful year because we're entrusted with taking care of the families of Chaves County and in Roswell. So I wish everybody well, but my number's out there. If you have anything you want to get off your chest, give me a call and I will try to address it or bring it to the people that need to hear it. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we've got some things coming up here in the next couple of months, and you know, it's interesting. We all had this great vacation, and I got a really cool present from my daughter. Now it's been said to me by somebody who's sitting in this room that I'm hard to buy for because you can pretty much buy me off with a print T-shirt. So as I'm thinking about the future of us, the next 5 months, the next years, whatever it is, I just want to show this shirt to everybody. I wanted to let you know that's what I'm doing.
Oh, you're not just doing a striptease? We don't need to like sing or
You know, no.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna wear it, and then I thought, you know, I need to look presentable. So,
You're not flashing
while
us
he's
or
actually
anything.
pulling it up.
So, Ruben, if you would do me a favor and read this shirt, just read it, because I can't remember the words exactly.
Okay, it says, ever make mistakes in life? Let's make them birds. Yeah, they're birds now.
Let's
And that's
Which one is
It's Bob Ross.
and that's
Oh,
Bob
I love
Ross.
it.
Bob Ross. So, you want a picture? Okay, I'll just keep standing. All right, good. I'll keep standing. So,
Put your hand on the hip.
so. You know, usually you get me doing this or this, and I'm always like, man, I don't pick my nose. So, we're gonna, as the future comes up, we're gonna make mistakes. We are up here. Everybody is out there. We're all human, and had a great vacation. You come back from vacation, you get those weeks off, and you come back, and it's amazing to me. There's rust. And even for me, I didn't take a lot of time off, but I went back to the office and I forgot I'd open my door. I mean, it was just stuff like that. And we are going to make mistakes, and I think, let's just turn them into birds.
That's right.
Mistakes are going to happen, but it doesn't have to sink the ship. And the students know you're going to make mistakes. And I've always had a philosophy with my kids and with anybody. And I've told the kids that I teach at church that, we're all one big family. And sometimes I'm going to make mistakes. And I hope that I have the approachable spirit and the approachable personality where even a 5-year-old can come up to me and say, Pastor Allen, you shouldn't have done that. And I would immediately say, I'm sorry I did. But we're going to make it better and we're going to do better. So as the new year comes, realize you're going to make mistakes. And just think about how you can turn that mistake into a bird. Might be a beautiful bird. Just be thankful I'm not painting it, because it would not be. It would be one ugly hawk. All right? And with that, I will tell you that we have reached the end of the agenda of this meeting.
Can I make one announcement real
Yes.
quick? I forgot to do this earlier. Just want to make everybody aware that we do have some openings at Parkview Early Learning Center for 4-year-olds for the New Mexico Pre-K program. And so if there are any parents out there that have not had an opportunity to, as long as their child turned 4 by September 1st, if they are still wanting to get them into New Mexico Pre-K program, there are some openings available at Parkview. And so they need to contact the administrator over there to get that going. Yeah. Show up and we'll figure it out.
Just show up.
Show up, we'll figure
Show
it
up.
out.
Walk them through it all.
That's right. So,
All right. Well, good. Yeah, I was going to ask how that went, but it wasn't on the agenda. So, this is the end of the agenda. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I have a motion made by Ms. Kirk. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ruben Sanchez. May I have roll call, please?
Alan Getty,
Here.
Ruben Sanchez,
Here.
Kathleen
Yes.
Goodman,
Here.
Mary Kurt,
Yes.
James Edwards.
Yes.
All right. And that's it. We're done. We will now go in. We have to wait 10 minutes to go into executive session. So we're going to sit up here for a while. You can come and talk to us or whatever. So.
go to the bathroom.